And then all of a sudden, Charles Johnson just goes on the offensive and hurts Sumudaerji.
Fighting out of the red corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Crossover MMA. This is my UFC Vegas 99 recap. I went 7-4 on the card, so not too bad. There were 9 decisions on this card, so we had to grind through it. Timestamps will be in the description. Let's get right into it. In the main event, we had Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. So round 1 in this fight, Pereira's best round in my opinion. Comes out and you can tell very early on, he's very explosive and it's very evident. Pereira throws a teep to the body that hurts Fluffy, and you can tell it was kind of a delayed reaction by Fluffy, but Pereira definitely picked up on it, and then he just put his foot on the gas and just started throwing some heavy shots and was trying to get the finish early, if you remember. But Fluffy eats a few shots, shakes his head as if he's unfazed, and then the slow, methodical drowning just started. About the 3.5-minute mark of round 1, Hernandez just starts stalking Pereira, applying his pressure and his pace, shooting for takedowns, just all over Pereira, the volume. I mean, even though Pereira got that body shot and landed some heavy shots early, I still gave it a 10-9 for Fluffy Hernandez. Fluffy won this round, and it was the most competitive round in the fight, but ultimately it didn't really matter. Round 2 starts, and then you clearly can see that Pereira by this point is like breathing heavily. He's just completely drenched in sweat, and you already know that at this point, he's pretty much done. So all of Pereira's explosiveness is gone. He's just trying to survive, throwing 1 strike at a time. Pereira went for a guillotine in round 2. Hernandez manages to get out and then just starts ground and pounding Pereira and just grinding him out. You could tell in round 2, this is when Pereira started to break and was just trying to survive. It's another clear 10-9 round for Fluffy Hernandez. Round 3 is literally just a repeat of round 2. Hernandez straight away on the pressure. Pereira very clearly just has nothing left. And at this point, it's just a matter of time if Fluffy's gonna get the finish or Pereira's just gonna hang on and survive. But Hernandez just continues with the pressure and the pace, and he's literally just trying to drown Pereira. To me, it looks like he's either a middleweight Marab or a middleweight Cain Velasquez. It's just pressure, pace, cardio, wrestling, just rinse and repeat. So it's another clear 10-9 round for Fluffy Hernandez. Round 4 starts, Pereira comes out, Hernandez is right back on him again. Hernandez is pretty much just playing with his food at this point, and he's just mauling Pereira. And it's literally just a repeat of round 2 or round 3. Round 5 comes out, and you can tell even between rounds that Pereira's corner, you can tell by the tone in their voice, like, yeah, they knew he was literally just hanging on. Hernandez comes right back out again, jumps right back on Pereira, gets another takedown, starts opening up with some ground and pound, and then Herb Dean steps in and Hernandez gets the ground and pound TKO. In the co-main event, we had Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. So in this fight, in the first round, Kyler Phillips comes out, gets the takedown straight away, controls Rob Font, mixing in some ground and pound. Font eventually gets back to his feet with about a minute left in the round, start letting his hands go. But in my opinion, it was too little too late at this point. So Kyler Phillips wins the round 10-9. I think he ended up winning this round on all 3 judges' scorecards as well. I'll definitely include the judges' scorecards. Round 2, Phillips gets another takedown early, but Font then manages to get back to his feet much quicker. And then literally as soon as Font gets back to his feet, he just starts applying this pressure on Phillips. And now you can clearly see that Phillips is definitely starting to slow down, like all the grappling and wrestling in round 1 definitely took effect on his gas tank. And with Font applying all this pressure and Kyler Phillips on the back foot, Font's starting to land that jab. He's starting to throw some big overhands and just landing some heavier shots and the better shots in the round, and just winning more of the exchanges. So round 2 for me was a 10-9 round for Rob Font. Round 3, Phillips comes out, gets another early takedown, but doesn't really do anything with it. Font gets right back to his feet and is literally right back in Phillips' face again on that pressure. And this looked a lot like round 2, and Font is just walking down Kyler Phillips, landing the heavier strikes. Phillips is on his bike, not really landing anything heavy or taking any chances. I really think the early grappling and the clinching and the circling just slowed down Phillips. And Font just started landing some heavier shots. And he ended up winning round 3, 10-9, and wins a unanimous decision, 29-28. Next fight, we have Charles Johnson versus Sumudaerji. Round 1, Johnson comes out very aggressive, gets right into the clinch straight away. They break free. Johnson lands a big right hand on the exit. Sumudaerji is scoring on Johnson, but he's not really landing anything heavy. Sumudaerji's landed some kicks, some jabs, but they're pretty much all at range. It's a close round on total strikes, but I thought Johnson landed the better strikes and did the most damage. I scored it 10-9 for Charles Johnson. Round 2 is kind of like a tit-for-tat round to start. Both guys coming out, landing strikes. It's a fairly even round. And then all of a sudden, Charles Johnson just goes on the offensive and hurts Sumudaerji badly, dropping him, and was trying to get the finish, and it was very close to getting the finish. And I honestly thought it was, if it had a guy to stop, I think it would have been okay. But anyway, the fight continues. Sumudaerji barely survives, and then he ends up going for a triangle, and he uses it to get back to his feet, but it's a clear 10-9 round for Charles Johnson. Round 3, Sumudaerji comes out being a bit more active. Johnson is trying to apply that pressure, but isn't landing as much. Johnson is looking to get that second win after pretty much just going for the finish in round 2, and pretty much just a little gas. Sumudaerji outworks Johnson in round 3, in my opinion, and I think Sumudaerji wins around 10-9, but Charles Johnson wins a 29-28 unanimous decision. Next fight, we have Jake Hadley versus Cameron Smotherman. So Cameron Smotherman is making his UFC debut on 3 days' notice. Round 1, they come out. It's a tit-for-tat to start the round. Hadley's using inside leg kicks. Smotherman is plodding forward, trying to land some body shots. Then Smotherman starts throwing some combinations, and he's having success. All the body work and the combination from Smotherman was great. He was a bit more active, and I gave this round 10-9 to Cameron Smotherman. Round 2, Hadley comes out at the start of the round, being a bit more active. It's a very close round. Nobody really lands anything of consequence, but Hadley gets a point deducted for multiple eye pokes. And in my opinion, this was a Hadley round. And then on top of it, like I'll show you, like 2 of the 3 judges gave this round to Jake Hadley, but him getting the point deduction pretty much just kills that. So at best, it's a 9-9 round. Round 3, Cameron Smotherman comes out, and he's starting the round very fast. He's on the pressure, throwing combinations. Smotherman's just being more aggressive and more active and just putting more out there than Jake Hadley. Smotherman ends up getting ahead on the volume, and Smotherman just keeps putting those combinations together, keeping Hadley backed up against the cage, and Hadley's having to circle the octagon. And that pretty much just sums up round 3, and I thought it was another 10-9 round for Cameron Smotherman getting a win in his UFC debut. Next fight, we have Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda. So in round 1, Daniel Pineda comes out letting his hands and feet go. Then he goes for a guillotine. It's pretty deep. Elkins is defending and scrambling as best he can. Elkins then manages to gets out, and he ends up on top. Lands a little ground and pound. Then Pineda manages to scramble and goes for another deep submission attempt. Pineda then ends back up on top and lands some good ground and pound. It's a competitive round, but in my opinion, it was a 10-9 round for Pineda. Round 2, both guys are bleeding all over the octagon. Elkins is throwing some volume. Pineda's landing some heavier strikes early in the round. Elkins is being a bit more active than Pineda. Pineda tries to land some subs, but Elkins survives and it is up on top. The control time, in my opinion, just adds up this round, and Elkins gets a little bit of ground and pound in this round. So to me, it's a 10-9 round for Darren Elkins. Round 3, they come out, it's 1-1, and get into a grappling sequence pretty much straight away. Both guys are giving it all they have. This is a fight really of grit and will. I mean, these are 2 veterans right here, and they both can dig deep. Pineda just literally has blood running all down his face. Pineda then drops Elkins with a leg kick, then goes for another guillotine. Elkins manages to scramble out, ends up on top. Elkins then controls position for the rest of the round, mixing in some ground and pound. And in my opinion, it's another 10-9 round for Darren Elkins. I'll include the scorecard so you can look at it, and also the significant strike totals, just so you guys can see it and get an idea for it. But this card didn't really have that many highlights, but it's officially UFC 308 fight week. You guys be on the lookout for my UFC 308 video. Let me know what you guys think in this video. Questions, comments, feedback is always appreciated. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, until next time.